Hello students, welcome to Ashish Polala classes. Today in the present lecture, I am going to discuss with you the next salient feature of Indian Constitution. The ninth salient feature of Indian Constitution deals with the fundamental rights. Part number 3 of Constitution of India guarantee six type of fundamental rights. The first category of fundamental right is right to equality. The provision relating to right to equality has been given from Article number 14 to Article number 18. The second category of fundamental right is the right to freedom. The provision relating to right to freedom has been given from Article number 19 to 22. The third category of fundamental right is right against exploitation. The provision relating to right against exploitation is given from Article number 23 to Article number 24. The fourth category of fundamental right is the right to freedom of religion. The provision relating to right to freedom of religion is given from Article number 25 to Article number 28. The fifth category of fundamental right is the cultural and educational rights. The provision relating to cultural and educational right is given from Article number 29 to 30. And the last category of fundamental right is the right to constitutional remedy. The provision relating to constitutional remedy is given in Article number 32 of Constitution. This chapter of fundamental right is known as Bill of Rights for the People of India. I want to repeat, this chapter is known as Bill of Rights for the People of India. It is very important to note here that some fundamental rights which are given in part number 3 of Constitution are provided to all the persons by the Constitution. It is immaterial whether the persons to whom these fundamental rights are given, whether they are the citizens of India or whether they are not the citizens of India. However, on the other hand, some fundamental rights are given only to the citizens of India. That is, those fundamental rights are not given to non citizens of India. The Constitution of India not only declare these fundamental rights, but it also provide the remedy in case there is violation of fundamental rights for the enforcement of these fundamental rights under Article 32 of Constitution of India. A person whose fundamental right is violated, he can directly go to the Supreme Court, which is itself a fundamental right, for the enforcement of any his fundamental right, which is provided from Article number 14 to Article number 30. And the Supreme Court, if it founds that the right of the person is actually violated by the state, the Supreme Court in that case can issue five types of writs in favor of that persons. And these five types of writs are the writ of habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and quo warranto for the restoration of the fundamental right of that individual. But it is also very important to note here that the fundamental rights which are declared in part number 3 of Constitution are not the absolute rights. These fundamental rights are subjected to some reasonable restrictions. That means to say the state can impose some reasonable restrictions on the fundamental rights of the citizens as well as non-citizens in the public policies. These fundamental rights can be suspended during the operation of national emergency. But it is also very important to know that the fundamental rights which are granted by Article number 20 and 21 cannot be suspended even during the operation of national emergency. Not only the fundamental rights has been provided by the Constitution of India also provided in part number 4 of Constitution directive principles of state policy, which are very fundamental in the governance of the country. According to Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, these directive principles of state policy is a novel feature of Indian Constitution. Why it is regarded as novel feature of Indian Constitution by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? Because part number 4 of Indian Constitution contains these directive principles which are declared as fundamental in the governance of the country. It is the duty of the state to apply them while making the laws, while making the policies for our India. But it is also very important to note here that these directive principles of state policies, even though these are declared as fundamental in the governance of the country, but these are non-justifiable. What is the meaning of non-justifiable? That means to say, in case the state do not apply these directive principles of state policy while making the laws and policies for India, you cannot insist the state to apply these directive principles of state policy by going to the court. That means to say, court cannot compulsorily impose on the state the duty to apply these directive principles of state policy while making the laws. The 11th salient feature of Indian Constitution is that it also provided certain fundamental duties for the citizens of India. Part number 4A of the Constitution, which was added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976, which consists only Article number 51A, lays down 11 fundamental duties for the citizens of India. The original Constitution, which was adopted on 26th of November 1949, did not provide for the fundamental duties of the citizens. These were added during the operation of internal emergency by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976, who recommend that these fundamental duties should be the part of Indian Constitution. These were recommended by Swaran Singh Committee. What was the objective to add fundamental duties in the Constitution? The object is to remind the citizens that while the Indian Constitution specifically confers on them certain fundamental rights, but this Constitution of India also requires the citizens to observe certain norms of democratic conduct and behavior in India. That means to say, it is a duty of the citizens to act within the basic norms in which their democratic conduct and behavior should be performed. But it is also very important to note here that, like directive principles of state policy, these fundamental duties are also non-justifiable. So at the end, if we compare fundamental rights, directive principles of state policy, and fundamental duties from the judicial point of view, then we can say that fundamental rights are justifiable, whereas fundamental duties and directive principles of state policies are non-justifiable. So this is something about the present lecture. For further salient features of Indian Constitution, be contact with me and watch next video. Thank you very much.